This is the 2025 Brewtubers Online Brewers Club Malt Experiment, Amber Ale. Thanks to our sponsors. 5 Star Chemicals. Check out their new online straight-to-consumer homebrew shop where you can buy everything from Star San and line cleaner to the new liquid PBW that can be used at temperatures as low as 58 degrees Fahrenheit. Check out their online store at 5starchemicals.com/home-brewing. Beer and Wine Hobby Homebrew Supply Store. A local homebrew shop in Danvers, Massachusetts. Order any malt they offer in any quantity you want, and if you order before 11 a.m., they'll package your items and ship out the very same day. Visit the store at www.beer-wine.com. Let's get tasting.
What's going on, guys? Nick Lessigore here, Exit 12 Homebrew in the house. And I'm here with another beer review for the 2025 Brewtubers Online Brewers Club Malt Experiment. A bunch of us got together, believe it was 11 of us, to brew the same amber ale, save for one variable, specialty malt. I am about halfway through these experiment beers, and I gotta tell you, I've learned more in this experiment than I think I have in past experiments. Just for, if not anything else, the number of people that joined and the types of specialty malts we used. This review is going to be of a beer from my friend and yours, in the light, from my friend and yours. I swear I record videos full time. From my friend and yours, Wrecked Brewing. Matt Wrecked Brewing did his beer with 8 ounces of Carolina Biscuit Malt. Carolina Biscuit Malt is from Carolina Malting. It adds flavors reminiscent of warm, freshly baked baguette and the toasty, sweet underside of a cookie, subtle enough to add body and bready notes to pale lagers and light ales, while impactful enough in heavier doses to add layered complexity to English ales and big stouts. Usage up to 15%. You could say this beer is well carbonated. That much is for sure. The crack was very nice. Foam coming out of the top of the can. Very, very well carbonated, I think. I'm going to give this a few minutes to settle down, and then I'm going to get a head. Or an aroma, I should say. Okay, I waited a few minutes. The head has kind of gone down quite a bit. And as you can tell, the beer is decently clear. I don't know if that does a good job of conveying it. But the beer is nicely clear. You can see my fingers through it. Nice color. It's tough to get a good color in the shadows. I need better lighting here down in the brewery. Really nice bubbles coming up. Fantastic looking bubbles. Let's get a nose on this. Okay. Yeah, the biscuit. Oh, that's funny. That's funny. Wow. The aroma on the biscuit malt really is coming through as this real grainy character. It smells pretty high octane, 5.6%. Okay. That is fun. So I don't know how the Carolina Biscuit Malt differs from normal American-made biscuit malt. But this is giving it a really I would not really say a baked bread character, but more of a really grainy kind of homebrewy character. I think everybody that brews knows what I'm talking about. It's that kind of grainy, you can tell this beer was homebrewed character, which by no stretch it's not a bad thing. It's just, it's a difference between whatever equipment us homebrewers have in comparison to those that the breweries have. But that's a fun aroma. There is a little bit of sweetness, it kind of smells like on the back end. You know, most of these beers carry that kind of candy-like sweetness. This one has a similar one that another one had, that kind of butterscotchy kind of toffee, not butterscotch, more like a toffee thing going. But that biscuit malt really kind of comes through. Now, would I be able to tell you that it's biscuit malt just giving me the beer without me knowing? Probably not. But the aroma shoots out of the glass really nicely, and maybe the biscuit malt is helping with some of that. Because this beer is like a really, really fragrant beer. I don't know if Matt, we weren't supposed to ferment under pressure, but I don't know if he did or not. All right, let's get a flavor. Enough of smelling this thing. Let's get a flavor. Let's get a taste on this. The bubble's just coming up on this thing. Very well carbonated. Yeah, look at that. Very well carbed. L'chaim. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, that's good. Oh, that is good. Oh, wow. The sweetness is so perfect on this beer. I think the biscuit malt really just brings everything up. It's almost like it's highlighting all the amazing qualities of the beer from a flavor perspective with the malt. The bitterness hits you middle to back end, hangs out for a couple of minutes, not overpowering. I mean, this has to be one of the most well-balanced homebrews I've had in a long time. Oh, man. I also think the carbonation is doing it quite a lot of favors as well. I do like a nice amount of carbonation on my beers. But I almost think the biscuit malt is it's so mellow that it's almost accentuating the sweetness of the beer. This is not a beer that is layered in flavor. But it's also not a beer that it's like what you see is what you get. This is right in the middle. You're really getting some amazing sweetness off of this beer. Great malt sweetness. You can tell this beer is about the malts all day. The sweetness washes off fairly quickly. But make no mistake, this is not an aqueous beer. This is a full-flavored amber ale. Wow, what a beer. That is quite a beer. Okay, ratings time. Wow. So I'm just going to say it straight out. Second place. Boom. And honestly, I mean, I just think this one carries more flavor than the Cara Red. And I think it's because of what the biscuit malt is actually doing to the rest of the beer. The melanoidin malt, for me, is producing a more depthy, layered beer. The Cara Red does a similar thing, not as flavorful. This beer is very flavorful. What a beer. Matt, well done. You can follow Matt Wrecked Brewing, Wrecked Brewery on YouTube. Good channel, very informative, and he always takes parts in these experiments. It's always appreciated. Matt, thank you so much for this beer. Until the next review, l'chaim. Great beer, Matt.